Let's jump over to the other piano player who also wrote hit songs,
We talked about
Billy
the
Joel,
piano, the Rocket Man. Now we talk about
the Piano Man. One of my favorite artists of all time.
mine too, Mr. William Joel.
Regardless of what you think about him, the dude is also a legend of stature as well.
Wait. People don't like Billy Joel?
In some sort, I feel like some people don't like. Some people that might not like his some of his songs. I get it, but it's like at the same time, it's like this dude has had a lot of. The dude is one of the most successful singer songwriters of all time. And his most recent album was 1993, and people are still listening to him.
And that was River of Dreams, right?
Correct. The River of Dreams was his last album in 1993. We'll touch on his career briefly, if you will. But what can you say about him? I mean, he's what, 72 or 73 now? Or I forget, but no, he'll be 73 this year. I forget. Anyways, now back in his birthday's May 9th. I know that, but I'm not 1949. So I'm just trying to do the math in my head. Whatever, I'll figure it out. But regardless, though, Billy Joel started out in the 70s. His first album was 1971 with Cold Spring Harbor, and it was not a big success. In fact, the original pressings of it, I don't know if you knew this, the original pressings actually sounded horrible. They actually accidentally sped up the recordings in the mastering process. If you find those pressings, they're worth a lot of money of that vinyl, but it has She's Got Away, and that's about it. And what can you say? I mean, first album was that, but also Piano Man turns, I think, 50 years old next year?
Yeah.
Because the album came out in 1960. He wrote the song in 72, which was 50 years ago. So the song was released in 1973. So put this in context, people. Piano Man has about 600, more than half of a billion streams on Spotify. Half of a billion. And the song turns 50 next year in 2023.
Yeah. That was the song that officially put him on the map.
Absolutely. 100% in 1973. I mean, he's had a ton of success in the 80s and into the 90s, but after that, he didn't put out any other content, which I respect him for.
The 70s today. You know what? It's kind of hard talking about people like Elton John and Billy Joel. It's kind of hard to talk about, to stick to one decade, because they have had so much success in like the 80s and in the 90s.
Exactly.
It's kind of hard to just talk about one decade today. It really is.
I know. We're for the most part, we're sticking to the 70s no matter what, but we're going to I don't know. Well, all I'm saying though is that Billy Joel is one of the best artists ever. And a singer-songwriter, you look at any of his songs and you'll know one of his songs because they're so catchy. They're so well written. Truthfully, they're very well written. And it's funny. I look up some of this stuff online. His demographic at his concerts now are all across the board. People bring their little kids. People bring, like, there was like in the front row, if I'm not mistaken, at this most recent Madison Square Garden show was literally 20-year-old girls in the front row.
Really?
Like, and on top of that, Olivia Rodrigo shows up and sings with him, which is pretty crazy.
Do you think it's kind of a weird example of pandering? Like, hey, young people, Olivia Rodrigo. I'm hip. I'm with it.
I can't believe that he, like, one thing, but just want to let you know, as most of you may or may not, we're in the New York area. I'm not telling you where we are specifically, but like we are in the New York area within reasonable distance to New York City. If you have not seen him, yeah, we literally hop on the train. But if you have not seen Billy Joel at Madison Square Garden or have not seen him yet, he is going to Bill, I'm working on it. I swear. I promise. We'll go together.
I know, buddy. I know. Like, you and I were actually talking about going to that most recent show, but that was the day I was away and you had to do mixed bag without me.
Exactly. So I was like, all right, well, we can't do that. But don't worry. We're going to find a day.
That day.
Yeah. But Bill and I are going to go see Billy Joel together one day, and we're going to have the time of our life seeing the Piano Man.
Could be a good time.
It'll be my fourth time seeing him in overall, but he's always a good time. If you've not seen him at the Garden, what he's doing there, just want to let you guys know. Put this in context. The dude is literally like 70 something years old. If you put into context the fact that he's been doing this, he's been selling at Madison Square Garden since 1978. If you put this in context for a sec, he is literally selling at Madison Square Garden pretty much his whole life. And his current run will hit its 100th consecutive sellout show in February of 2024. 100 sold out. In this run, it'll hit its 100th show in February of 2024. I looked it up already. They haven't announced it yet because you got to get through all of 2023. The rest of this year, 2023. And then 2024 will be his 100th consecutive sellout in this run.
His shows haven't been sold out yet, so.
No, they're still announcing dates. He literally told the Garden people, as long as there's a demand, I'll play. You're an idiot. You're going to be there forever. Let's put it that way. And he brings out guests and stuff. And so he's brought out Olivia. Most recent one was Olivia Rodrigo. He brought out Sting. He's brought out Bruce Springsteen. He's brought out Brian Johnson of AC/DC. He's brought out It's Perma, the world's greatest violinist. You name it. The dude's great. I mean, if you've not seen him at all, see him while you can. Because he's at the Garden in New York City every single month. And it's incredible what he's doing will probably never be done again, for lack of a better word.
Probably not, my friend. Probably not.
Like a New York artist selling at Madison Square Garden as many. I was at his 100th Lifetime show, and it was incredible. Again, he brought up Bruce Springsteen, of course, but which we'll get
and I remember you said there was like a young kid in front of you, and you're like, "Do not forget this."
Yeah,
am I right
so
there,
what
JT?
Bill's bringing up is that
you told the young kid in front of you
I was at the
Bruce
show.
Springsteen came on. Do not forget this.
The kid next to me, there was a little kid next to me. It was his first concert ever. His first show ever. And I said, do not ever forget this. I told them, I said, don't ever forget this, because I never will either. It may never happen again. Don't ever forget this moment, because it may never happen again. So.
And they changed around the words to 10th Avenue Freeze Out. It goes something to the original line is when the big man joined the band. They changed it to when the piano man joined the band.
I still get chills from that. It's crazy.
I love Bill. I would have had a freak out too, buddy. I would have freaked out too.
I have to take you.
Yes, you do.
At some point, I will take you.
We will go.
We'll go next summer or something like that. I promise. I promise, Bill. I promise.
I'm going to hold you to that. You know that, right?
Oh God! Now the next available date in like January or February. I'm gonna have to get 2 tickets, aren't I?
Well, this is an off-air discussion.
Yes, we'll figure it out. But long story short, Billy Joel's music, The Strangers, a great album. 52nd Street, Turnstiles. Just get on the bandwagon of Billy Joel if you can.
Wait, was Turnstiles 70s or 80s?
76.
Yeah, because that's because he lived in LA for a while. That's what inspired him to write Piano Man. But Turnstiles was all about him going back to New York.
Yeah, he wrote New York State of Mind in Highland Falls, New York, hence Summer Highland Falls. Just saying.
Because it was around the time when New York City was about to go bankrupt.
Yep.
And they asked President Ford at the time to bail them out, and he said no. And Billy Joel said when he was in Los Angeles, he said all these people going, New York's going down the tubes, and a lot of these former New Yorkers. So thank God we got out of there. And he said, you know what? F you guys. If New York's going down, I'm going down with it. I'm going back. And
he did.
Like the opening track of that song, which I actually think is a pretty underrated song. Say Goodbye to Hollywood.
Such a great song.
Say goodbye to Hollywood. Say goodbye, my baby.
Hell yeah, buddy. Hell yeah.
Say goodbye to Hollywood. Say goodbye, my baby. And New York State of Mind was about him singing about how happy he is to be back in New York.
Yep.
Yeah. And my favorite 70s Billy Joel album is The Stranger.
Yes. How could it not be?
I love the track Vienna, again, I think a very underappreciated song, Vienna.
I agree. It was in a movie, but 13 going on 30, and then it caught
Yeah.
wind again. So yeah.
Scenes from
Such a
Italian Restaurant was off that album, right?
Literally in my top 10 favorite songs of all time.
But
Literally in my top 10 favorite songs of all time is Scenes from Italian Restaurant. Never heard anything else like it.
the official anthem about the people who peaked in high school.
Literally. Just straight up.
But my favorite song from that album has got to be Only the Good Die Young.
It's such a great song. So fun.
And it was a controversial song at first because
yeah,
the Archbishop of St. Louis actually banned the song because the opening line, "Come out, Virginia, don't let me wait, you Catholic girls start much too late." The Archbishop was like, "Don't play this, we're banning it." And then a bunch of college kids literally ran out and bought the song, and it became a hit.
Which is actually really funny, yeah.
And then he literally wrote a letter to the Archbishop and said, "Thank you very much. Please ban my next record."
It's so true. It actually happened. Yeah.
Anyone can get a number one hit, but it takes someone special to get their record banned.
Damn right.
So, folks, any aspiring musicians out there, get your record banned. That'll really do good for you.
Oh, yeah. Make sure your music is banned so that way your music can sell great.
Am I right?
You're right. All right. But Billy Joel, one of the greatest singer-songwriters of all time. He wrote all of his songs by himself. He wrote all of the lyrics, all the music. He did everything on his own, which is great, great stuff.